Hello, everyone, and welcome to Shamanic Learning. My name is Eleni,
And I'm Tina.
and we are shamanic practitioners. We work together and teach together. And today we want to chat all about nightmares. So, we are dream weavers. We love to talk about dreams. We teach classes about dreams. And I know nightmares is a really big topic that people are curious about. And are trying to figure out like what exactly are they. So Tina, from your own personal experience, what would you share with someone that asks like, why am I having nightmares?
That's one of those loaded questions. Like, I mean, why do we have dreams at all? I mean, generally, I guess I would say you're probably trying to work through something. Like, that's like the most general answer, but it would, I think, depend on the nightmare, but you're most likely trying to work through something. Um, though, you could be having a spiritual visitor. Guess there's a lot of, you know, possibilities, I guess, but I would think most of the time it's something that your subconscious is trying to work out, and it's probably a scary topic. A fear of some kind is usually, where nightmares stem,
Hmm.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
What would
I
you
know
tell them?
yeah, I think there's so many theories about dreams, and I kind of like to pull from all of them instead of just say, like, this is the hard and true, the truth. But I do think that a lot of our there's some symbolic dreams that a lot of people have, like, oh, I'm losing my teeth, or I'm late for work, or I can't get somewhere, or something like that. Um, they have general meanings for those, I would say. And then I always tell people, like, find what resonates for you. But like Tina says, like on the spiritual and shamanic side of things, not trying to invoke any type of fear or anything, but sometimes we can have like interference at night, or or a visitor or some type of energy. And it's not always the case, but I think like when we are traversing in the dream realm, we are visiting different like astral places at times. And so we can be interacting with other beings, other dimensions, and sometimes not all of those beings are of our highest good. So, um, I think when it comes down to nightmares, I would ask somebody like, are you having a recurring nightmare? Is this the same thing happening over and over and over again? And then moving into like what's going on there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's all cut and dried. It certainly isn't.
Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like dreams in general, they have it's I guess it depends on like what kind of dreamer you are, what kind of sensory information you get with your dreams. Are you a very visual dreamer, meaning that you see like characters or plots, or are you interactive? Some people are natural lucid dreamers. I think you lucid dream a little bit, don't you?
A lot.
A lot. Yeah. Can
Yeah.
you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, actually, I started lucid dreaming on purpose. It's something I practiced because of my nightmares. So, because I
Mm.
was having nightmares regularly, and lucid dreaming allows you to control the dream.
Hmm.
So, what when I first started, learning how to lucid dream, it was because I was having this nightmare, and it was a recurring dream. And I was like, okay, well, how do I change the ending? Right? Like, how do I make this not a scary, like, how do I make it so I don't wake up in that horrible panic state? And then you're in that for like a long time, right? So, lucid dreaming allows you to be in that in between place where you're conscious of having a dream, you're in a dream, but you also have the ability to change the dream. You can make decisions that you wouldn't normally make in a dream. So I was able to take control, and and I still am. So when I'm having a nightmare now, and as soon as I notice, right, that, oh, this is a nightmare, I can step back and go, okay, what do I really want this to look like? instead of just letting it happen. So
Hmm.
that's kind of how I use lucid dreaming, and how I started it in and again, it's a practice. It is something that takes, and it can take years to learn how to lucid dream to the point where it can actually help you. Um,
Hmm.
and as far as lucid dreaming, sometimes I just use it to see what the possibilities are. I can have the same dream over and over and over again in the same night and have a different ending, which kind of allows you to see like what are all my possible scenarios here, which is again a way to process a decision that you have to make or whatever. So, because when we're sleeping, that's an ideal time for those kinds of processes.
Right. Yeah, I noticed that I lucid dream when I'm having like a scary thing happen and I have to make a decision. It's almost like I kind of snap into, okay, I'm aware that, and now I need to protect myself. And then I start lucid dreaming, but I haven't actually like practiced lucid dreaming, so I don't lucid dream that often. But when I do, it's interesting, to be aware of your
Yeah.
dreaming state. Yeah. Um, yeah, so for somebody experiencing a nightmare like over and over, whether it's a recurring nightmare or something that like really spooked the heck out of them, and then it's like sitting in their field and it's hard for them to process. We like to teach the shamanic journeying to get healing information and to get like more insight or healing within the dream. However, I would say that some dreams aren't safe to go back into. So that's one of like the filters that you have to ask when you work with that specific dream guide is this dream safe for me to go back into, or does my guide need to go on my behalf? And they kind of go and figure out like what that information is. Um, you can set intentions for your dreams, or if you're working with a waking intention, that might inform your dreams that night. You know what I mean? Like you have an intention for like your meditation or something like that, and then your dream's going to show you like the shadow of that intention. So it's like, okay, well, here's all the things that you're still holding on to, or like are still in your field that might be a block to this. So like let's actually look at them, and then that might feel like actually really scary when you wake up, right?
Yeah.
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 There's a reason why they call it the shadow. So,
Right.
yeah. So, dream. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just processing that.
Well, yeah. I'm just thinking like dream work can also be like a shadow work journey, right? Because
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
yeah, like as you work with your dreams, and the thing too, I would say is as you work with your dreams, like even if they're weird and like edgy, I think sometimes the more you get to know them like a relationship, the less edgy it becomes. It's like that was weird, but I'm not like haunted by it the whole
Yeah.
day. Yeah. Um, yeah. So what are your thoughts about that?
No, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this before, and I know I've talked to you about this dream that I had, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago, that felt like a nightmare while I was in it.
Hmm.
And then when I woke up, I was like, okay, it was just weird. It was like, I don't know why I felt that nightmarish, motion when it was really just a weird dream. Um, which to me, when and more that I think about that, means that whatever it was I was working through, I probably worked through, right?
Hmm.
Whatever. So I'm not freaked out by it when I wake up because it's gone. So it's
Hmm.
also not a dream I need to go journey back into
Right.
because it's it's not a thing anymore, right? It
Right.
doesn't matter what it was about. But I still clearly remember nightmares I had as a child,
Hmm.
like clearly.
Yeah.
Like I could bring it back at any moment if I wanted. No, not that I would, but like
Well, you could if you needed to
I
work
could
through
I
it.
could
Yeah.
journey and I could journey back to it, but um maybe we'll do that in class.
Yeah. I think too, like when you're a kid, obviously, the realms and the barriers are not, as strong. So you're probably getting a lot more information as a child, and then you don't know what to do with that. And then if you
Yeah.
don't have somebody that you can share those dreams with that takes you seriously, then you're just like being haunted basically by these dreams. And I
Yeah.
want to talk about like, yeah, just my my experience, like I have better sleep hygiene now, but what I'm noticing is because I've inherited some goods, and I've talked to Tina about this already. I've inherited some things from my grandparents, and I'm working on cleansing and clearing those. But I've noticed that they have had, and just having these items with a certain energetic imprint in my house without doing like a lot of cleansing and ceremony yet to clear them has influenced my dreams. And so it's interesting how nuanced dreams can be because you're picking up on energetic imprints from the things that are in your home. You're picking up on imprints from the land and the stories of the people that have been there. You might pick up on information of like psychic information of like your neighbors, your ancestors might be coming to you telling you stories.
Your animals.
Your animals might be like, hey, I want this or whatever. There's so much possibility for what is filtering through. And then, also, of course, kind of what you do during the day or right before bed can play into the storyline of your dream as well, right?
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, when I was reading Harry Potter, every night was an amazing Harry Potter dream. But was it really a Harry Potter dream? Like it was in that place, it was with those characters, but it was something about my life as it related to, as I saw it through the Harry Potter filter, right? Because it
Right.
was exciting and it was fun. And, I mean, granted, sometimes dreams are just dreams, but you know, when it was a scary Harry Potter dream, it didn't feel as scary because it was not in a real place.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it was still scary, but I wouldn't call it a nightmare. Does that
Mm-hmm.
distinction make sense sometimes?
Yeah, I think it's like comes down to how you like personally process that information, and
Yeah.
that experience. Yeah, and what I notice too is sometimes there's certain themes that I'm like working through within a single week. So if I am consistent with my dream tracking, which I've been good at recently, um, for the most part. Well, there's like one dream that I was like, I don't want to hold on to this, so I didn't write it down. And yet, because I didn't write it down, it's still sitting in my field.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
I,
need to write it down.
I need to go write it down because that's what I noticed too, is like if something is lingering in your auric field and in your psyche, it's helpful to get it out, put it somewhere,
Oh, I
right?
like that.
And then not only do you kind of honor it by like placing it in its own like domain, but also you don't have to hold it because then like there's the option of going back and like processing if you need to. But I've noticed that, and I have also recommended that to like friends. I mean, it's a practice and it's discipline, It's definitely, I know you have been very disciplined
I
about,
am. I'm very disciplined about it.
yeah. And I'm like routinely doing that now, and it's so interesting like what themes are coming through each week.
And that's the coolest part for me about a dream journal is,
Yeah.
yeah, you can write it down, get it out of your field, but then you can go back and go, okay, let's look at like the dreams I've had for the past 2 weeks and go, oh, I got themes going on that I didn't
Yeah.
associate individually, but when I read them, you're like, yeah, there's definitely something happening here. So,
Right. Yeah. And I do think that like you can, I don't know. We get deeper into this in the class that we teach, which we'll put the link in the description below. But yeah, you can receive like obviously healing in your dreams, psychic information. You can set an intention for your dream to get, there's so many ways to like work with your dream. And I love that, it's called dream work because yes, you're resting and recovering, and sometimes you are working in your dreams, like that astral part of you is working. But
Mhm.
also when you wake up and you start tracking and like playing and being in that realm of the dream time, but in your waking life, you're working with those archetypes. It's just it's malleable, basically,
Mhm.
the dream time. So, and a lot of shamanic cultures really do honor dreams.
Absolutely. And I will say that since I've been keeping my dream journal regularly, I have less nightmares.
Hmm.
And I think that is a direct correlation because when you're
Hmm.
getting that stuff out, your
Hmm.
psyche doesn't have to keep revisiting it. And like, it's kind of like, you know, I hurt my foot, but I'm going to ignore it, right? I'm going to ignore
Hmm.
it. I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to ignore it. But now I can't walk because I
Right.
ignored it. So I think nightmares sometimes are similar, where I came to you in a nice, gentle dream and you ignored me. I came to you a little bit harsher and you ignored me. And now I am going to throw in the biggest monsters and scary things so that you pay attention to me. Right?
Hmm. Hmm.
It's the psyche going, help, you're not paying attention. So
Yeah, pay attention to me.
exactly.
I love
So
that. Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, I don't want to like give too many goodies away
I
because,
know.
but we are excited because we have a course coming up. I don't know when you guys are watching this, but we will probably be teaching this course, frequently. And this is a shamanic dreaming course, meaning that we take the dreams and we take the textures of dreams if you don't have the storylines, and we practice dream tracking. And then we teach you guys how to go back into your dreams and get that information, get a healing, get a guide, get that protection that you need, and also to be in a sacred container of other dreamers so that it's gently reflected back to you what it might mean to somebody else without somebody trying to interpret the dream for you. And that's like an important aspect of the dream container that Tina and I hold, is that we don't do like interpretations of other dreams. We do it as if it were my dream, which is how Robert Moss teaches it. He's amazing. But yeah, if it were like, so let's say Tina was like, this is what happened to me, blah, 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 blah. I would say, oh, if it were my dream, I would be curious about blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So is there anything else you want to share about nightmares or dreams?
I'd like to share something else about class.
Yes,
The
please.
one thing Eleni didn't say about our class is we also will be journeying into someone else's dream, which is
Mm-hmm.
also a very powerful tool um, to assist somebody else in seeing the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Yes, with
excited.
their intention and their permission,
Yes.
we are able to like do some psychic work for another. So
Yeah.
that could be handy. Yeah, it can be handy regardless if you do like healing work or not. But it's an interactive class, but also like it's a container, right? So
Yes.
we bring the stuff, we bring the edginess, we bring the scary stuff to this, or you bring the happy stuff too. Like
Right.
I don't know like how often I have like the best dreams ever. Like I don't wake up and I'm like, oh my God, that was amazing.
I don't either. But
I
we
mean,
have friends who do.
no,
We
I
definitely have
love
friends
that.
who have wonderful dreams every day, and I'm like, I want that. Like I have these weird, twisted, like my psyche is so busy. Everything's like weird and twisted and underwater a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of math in
Mm,
my dreams, and
interesting.
which I don't love. But
Yeah. I feel like us, because both Tina and I are Scorpios, and I think that's part of the domain of Scorpios is like the underground, like going to the underworld, but also yeah, it's interesting, like the textures of dreams. And yeah, dreams don't always have to be like super edgy and scary. We can get good omens. We can get a healing and wake up and be like, oh, like I feel refreshed. I love those dreams.
me too.
Yeah. But most of the time I wake up and I'm like, what? in the
Exactly.
world.
Even as I'm typing them, sometimes I'm like, this is even weirder now that I'm typing it out. Like,
Yeah, so yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can find our email and you'll find the link to our course in the description below. And we will be posting our free dream tracker. So if you're interested in starting, you can do this on your own and then meet us in class. That would be amazing. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank
thanks,
you.
everyone.